different things that you've seen, because I'm kind of like in an insulated bubble. But go ahead about this hip to shoulder nonsense.
Yeah. So a couple things. So there's lots of quote unquote philosophy of pitching. I think the first point you're making about the one leg at a time, pitching's a linear skill, right? It's a linear force you're producing, unlike hitting, which is a stationary and purely rotational, not rotational and linear type of force. So that's, I think, important to recognize. The hip to shoulder separation, this thing's been talked about for a long time. You can go back, like this article's about it, like back in the early 2000s. And I think like many things, not just in sport and society in general, over time, it's like the fish story, right? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So there became more emphasis on this. And while it's important that people are paying attention to what you're supposed to do as a pitcher, it's more important to understand the why, like why you want to do this. As we know, Kevin, there is a natural hip and shoulder separation. It's called the sequencing of the kinetic chain.
Right.
I was actually looking up a study earlier, Kevin, and it talked about how there's like this sweet spot in terms of velocity, really, and in health. And that's the problem, right? So the problem is you take something that is a thing.